My original goal was to take everything I know and learn more about particle physics and physics and the birth of the universe. I read like 7 books on this of the latest up to date like science behind what we know about quantum theories, what we know about physics and why things happen, you know what I mean? The
Yeah.
universe, black holes, all that shit. And then I read the entire Old Testament and New Testament of the Holy Bible, which as far as I'm concerned is the most accurate representation of what science already says about the universe, like verbatim. Just worded differently in the Bible, but it's like verbatim what we say in science today about the Big Bang and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so my goal was to figure out, okay, is there some truth to religion outside of, you know, be a good person? And is there some answers in 2,000-year-old texts that in my mind, if I listen to the text or if I read the text in a different way than the average human reads the text, like if I read the Bible and if I apply known physics and known science to some of the names in the Bible and what the Bible's saying, and I take it purely metaphorically, not literally, I take the whole Bible as an analogy, it makes perfect fucking sense. All the way down to the point where there's a God, okay? And because it's like I try to my whole thing is trying to understand the universe, not so much being religious, right?
Right.
That's the goal. Like I want to see if there's any breakthroughs that I could think of because for some reason, for whatever reason, I was born with an ability for like everybody's born with this, but I have like this very very acute sense of pattern recognition. That's why I'm really good at reading people. It's why, obviously we're wrong sometimes, but it's why I'm really good at reading body language. I'm like really, really good at seeing a pattern develop over time and being able to predict what's next, for example. And I only have 40 years to draw upon pattern recognition, right? Because I'm only 44 years old. That's not a lot of time when you're talking about the birth of the universe,
Right.
which is a lot older than we think it is. A lot older than we think it is. But if I were to read the entire, I'm thinking, if I read the entire Old and New Testament, word for word, and literally focus on every single word, because when you have a book like the Bible, and you got to remember, like 2,000 years ago, people weren't bored 2,000 years ago. Like if a Bible was written today, it'd be horseshit because people have nothing but time to just make shit up all day long. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
2,000 years ago, 99% of your day was spent surviving, gathering food, gathering water, cooking food, getting everybody fed, keeping everybody together, passing down stories, teaching. Like 2,000 fucking years ago, you had no time to just sit around and make shit up. This is why I think the Bible and certain religious texts are really, really true, like actually factual, but told in a way because language is totally different than 2,000 years ago. This is what people are missing. Like they read the Bible, it's English. Oh, I know English. This is English. I know what these words mean. This is bullshit. It's a fairy tale. No, like the way you communicated with somebody 2,000 years ago is completely different than the way you communicate today. I mean, just think about how people used to talk in the 1920s compared to how people talk today. It's totally different. Even in the 20s, it was like you learned a lot more through stories. That's why children's books were invented. It was the through stories and character creation, you were teaching things to a child. You were learning that about things that you carried all the way to adulthood, right? That's how communication was. Like, look at the Native Americans. What does every Native American movie tell you about the Native Americans, how they communicate? Everything was song, dance, and story. That's how they talked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When they were talking about hunts and going on hunts and like everything. Like you look at any native, like that island that is totally untouched by modern day humans. Like it's a protected island because all the natives there like don't have. They live in straw huts and everything, and down there in the Amazon, like you're not allowed to go there because you're gonna like fuck their entire civilization up. But when they see a boat for the first time or a 747 fly overhead, the first thing that person is going to do is go back to their village and do like a reenactment and some sort of a dance to tell the story. That's how you fucking communicate 2,000 years ago. So like when you have the Bible written out, thousands of pages, explaining the birth of the universe and where humans come from and why humans were created to begin with, why all this exists, you can't take it literally. It's not designed to just read verbatim. You have to put patterns. You have to recognize the patterns that correlate with real life signs that we know today. And that's what I did. That's exactly what I did. And, you know, there are some names in the Bibles, names of angels, names of celestials, which are literally just, they're not angels. They're literally the planets that got, like, the literal form of planets that were created in this solar system. And this is why I've come to the conclusion. I have a conclusion about why we're here, what life is, what the universe actually is. I have come to a conclusion, and I'm very happy with my conclusion. And if you want to hear it, I'll share it.
Sure.
I mean, I don't want to bore you.
No, go for it.
Well, I don't know. So here's the thing. We know for a fact if you take the Bible as, I'm going to say this loosely because you have to take the Bible very, very analogetic or metaphorically. You can't really take it literally, but if you were to take the Bible and accept that it is an accurate representation in its own language, an accurate representation of the birth of the universe and everything. That means you kind of accept, okay, when God created all the angels, billions and billions of angels. Okay, when I die, my soul goes to heaven. My soul must be an angel. I must be one of those angels he created, right? I must be one of those billions of angels that he created. There's nothing else makes sense to me. Pattern-wise now, I'm just putting patterns together. So you're an angel, I'm an angel, everyone's an angel. Every single one of us is an angel. And I do believe that this realm that we're in, this three-dimensional mortal existence that we're in right now, was created by God. And this is why. If I am an angel, made exactly like God. Basically, we're gods, okay? We're basically God. Basically. Because that's what he did. He created them all in the image of himself. So we're basically God. And the universe that we're living in right now was created. So this is creator theory. Like, we do believe in God, and God created the universe, so we believe that, and I believe that is true. The question is why? Why? Like okay, you're almighty, you're all knowing, you're infinitely powerful. Like according to our brains, you just have to say we're infinitely powerful. There's no limit. We're also not three-dimensional. We're also X-dimensional. However many dimensions there actually are in the universe. We live in 3 dimensions, right? You understand that so far?
Yeah, 3 dimensions.
So angels, we're infinitely powerful. We know everything. And we're multi-dimensional. So why would this Earth be created, do you think? Why if I'm an angel, why would I be here playing Poe right now? And how did I get here? Well, I'll tell you. We're here by choice. We just don't know it. The universe we are in right now was purposefully created for us to basically spawn into, like VR, so that we can experience, now this is the kicker, so we can experience joy, happiness, sadness, depression, surprises, and ultimately mortality. So this place was specifically engineered and purposefully programmed in a way that when we come here, we have no connection. You're totally disconnected from the reality, which is you're an angel with infinite knowledge. And it's so immersive, this engine that we're in is so immersive and perfectly built. It's seamless. There's no seam between what we're experiencing right now and the reality of us being an angel. Okay? So you have no knowledge. You only have belief and faith. You have no knowledge about anything else but what's in your little mortal 3-dimensional brain right now. And that was designed on purpose that way. So that way we can have something to do that gives us perspective, gives us experiences, gives us emotions. Because when you're all powerful and you have there's no way you can even think about it. Our 3-dimensional brain can't even understand the freaking surface level of what it's like to be an angel. But I can tell you this, there's probably not a lot of emotion. There's probably not a lot of surprises when you know everything. There's probably not a lot of taking time for granted when you're immortal and you live forever and you're not constrained by time. Like, how boring is that actually? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How much more do we get out of making a conscious choice to spawn in and be born as a child and live a mortal life that has consequences and choices and relationships? You know what I mean? Like this is the best place to be. And when we're here, we think heaven's the best place to be. Oh, heaven's gonna be perfect. There's no disease. Yeah, heaven's boring as fuck, guys. Like, that's why this is so precious. This life is so good. Even when it's bad, it's way better than heaven. Because we get to have experiences that you're not going to have when you have infinite knowledge. You're not going to give a fuck about time when you have infinite time. You know what I mean? You don't have to eat. You don't have to drink in heaven. You're just immortal and you're almighty. Like, that sounds great, except everybody's that way. You know what I mean? And you have nothing. You're sitting there with just infinite fucking power. What else is there to do but create this? And then who knows what else, right? Because obviously you have God, who we would say is the Almighty, who governs and writes the rules for this program we're in right now. Let's call it, for simplicity, let's call it a program. We're in this program right now. He wrote the code. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what it is. That's literally all it is. And that's why demons, and this is where I start skewing my thing. Demons in the Bible I mean, you got to go to other places besides the Bible to really hear about demons. Because demons and like the explanation of demons and like how God created all the angels, that's not from the Bible. That's from other religious texts. I also think demons are not celestial in any way. I don't believe that God created. I don't believe the story of God creating angels, angels defying what God wanted them to do, and so he damned them all. I don't think that's real. I think that's all just for this three-dimensional world we're living in. Like, all of that's real in a sense where God did create all the demons. He wrote the code for them here on Earth, where we're at right now. And they have to obey him, and they all have their backstory and their lore and everything. But they're not really angels. And a lot of your evil that you see, and this is why I don't believe in hell. I think this whole thing was created so you could have perspective of good and evil. It's all about perspective, giving you, opening your mind up and allowing you to feel choices and allowing you to feel consequences, right, for actions, which we don't have in heaven. You just have it here. So like when you pray for a miracle, this is where it gets a little weird. It goes off the charts a little bit, but it's like sometimes those prayers will be answered, sometimes they won't. It all depends. If the demon was placed here by God and it's doing what God is willing, the prayer will be unanswered. But if I also believe humans create evil. Like without humans, evil doesn't exist. I really think evil is man-made, which means if I am manifesting something, let's say I'm depressed, I'm going through depression, whether I mean to or don't mean to, whether it's, probably formally it's like initially it's probably a natural thing. Say I go through depression, I can unconsciously manifest a demon inside of me, and I'm possessed now by my own will, like my own unconsciousness summoned a fucking demon that is now meddling with me. And because I did it, God allows it, because God allows free will. That's the wild card people forget about, which is why it's like, why does God let so much evil happen? Well, no, humans allow evil to happen. Evil is just free will going in the wrong direction of the good and evil scale. There's no evil in the world unless we make it. Think about it.
Speaking of that, does that mean that, does that mean anybody who serves the military is just fucked? If they're like killing people, because you're not doing God's will, you're basically doing man's will, like country's will.
Yeah. That's why if you're a soldier and you go overseas, that's why people pray all the time overseas. A lot of soldiers pray because they're gonna fucking probably die if they're in war, right? Like, but a lot of this is why, like, even Navy SEALs, the highest trained soldiers out there, go through have a hard time when they have to kill somebody. You're not supposed to kill anybody, whether it's war or not.
My thing is like, how can they, like, okay, like in your theory, like, I'm trying to figure out how to word this. In your theory, how can I, if I'm like, yeah, I'm joining the Marines, but if I kill somebody, I'm gonna be truly I'm gonna ask for forgiveness and I'm gonna mean it. But yeah, I'm still going to do something that I know, like I'm joining something that I know is going, like I'm possibly going to kill somebody. You get what I'm saying? Like, can you be forgiven knowing that, like, you're like, because you said like, if it's something in your heart where if you can turn back time, you would like you wouldn't do it.
Yeah, no.
But
war
I joined the military.
Always bad. I think it's probably why I never joined the military.
That's what I'm asking. Are they just fucked? Like, is there no forgiveness for them? Like, because like are they throwing that away?
Well, no, because here's the thing now. Now, this is where things start to break down. Because remember, you're still working with a three-dimensional human brain. Okay?
Yeah.
All of our reasoning and all of our morality and all of our judgment of like should or shouldn't, good versus evil, right or wrong, is still just man-made. Because like, essentially speaking, if I went and just killed my entire town and then killed myself, like, I'm still going to heaven. There's no hell. There's no such thing as hell. Like, who knows what will happen once I get back into heaven? They'll probably be like, dude, you're a fucking idiot. Now you're going to go down, you're going to be a freaking frog for 45 years. You know what I mean? Like, who knows, right? Like, it's all about perspective. And like, who knows? I'm a three-dimensional brain. I don't know anything, right? I'm still just a three-dimensional brain, right? So like, at the very like, who knows after we die and the judgment, like, who knows what choices I make here in my life? There's no way of knowing what kind of effect that's going to have where it really counts, which is like when you're an angel, right? When you become an angel again. Obvious, like there's two. I'm on like I'm on a 50-50 whether or not this is just a game we're playing for fun and it means nothing. We just choose to come here because it's what we choose to do, because being perfect is boring. Or if this is somehow a testament and a test that all of us must take every so often if we want to go up and down in ranks in heaven. You know what I mean? I don't know. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Everything I think of is going to come from a human perspective, not an angelic perspective with infinite knowledge. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, you can't explain it all, and you're never going to be able to explain it all. But I do believe, at the very most bare bones, and I don't know all the consequences and how everything plays out through the eternity, okay? But I do know that the main reason why, the main overarching like plot of why we're here and why this earth was created and why this universe was even created, it is because it's gotta be a lot to do with when you're perfect with infinite knowledge. That's gotta be boring. You're never gonna be surprised about anything. You're never gonna have anything to learn. You just, what are you? You're just an almighty being, right? Like, so if we're gonna be 100% spiritual about it, the only reason this place would be created is to give us those perspectives and give us those experiences, so we could feel mortal. You know what I mean? Like, so you can feel mortal. Because what else are you going to do with your infinite fucking time? Sit there glowing in the vast 12th dimension? You know what I mean? Like, for eternity? I mean, you got to think about it.
All right.
If God...
I gotta go for a little while, buddy.
All right, see you later, dude.
All right, I'll be back later. You gonna be on most of the night, or?
Yeah, I gotta probably go pick back up whenever she's done, but she'll give me a text, I'm sure.
All right, later, brother.
There, man. Teen. shit. He's around. Okay, I gotta put this back.
Long forgotten shrines. Show me your secrets. Is my power to wield. Bone.
You left a child Die.
Hello? I'll ask Shambrin about this one. I will tell your tale. Here for a story? I will tell your tale.
Is mortal. Oh, at last I thought none. I awoke. I ask you. I'm usually opposed to burning women alive, but as you wish. Death. Thank you. By your request, this is what I needed.
By your request.
There was a... Ah, that's nice.
I got soap in my eye earlier today. It just irritates me. I probably should just wash it out with water, huh? I don't have saline.
Stay in sight.
Should probably do increased duration on that too, huh? Why don't I ever do that? Here we go. How come I can't do? Oh, it's a 3. Okay. ascend. I'm well beyond ascension level.
Traditions are meaningless drivel. But let's see what power is offered here.
I will set.
Should just throw brutality in there.
We as war knights.
Let's get this over with.
Why did I choose this one? I don't want to do 40% less damage.
The ritual has been disrupted. Stand tall. A moment. Moment of respite.
Death is my power to wield. Waste of my time. Splinters of bone.
A great challenge overcome. Greetings. Go with strength.
Doing that to offset my 40% less damage.
moment of respite. Let's plan. We will succeed.
I don't know, same merchant with the same store. Okay, interesting.
The foe ahead is formidable. Steel yourself.
Formidable rock challenges me.
Beware of the birth.
Splinters of bone!
Beware of what falls.
Mind. No challenge at all.
I knew you would succeed.
Power awaits me. At Of my blood, they will see true power. And of my blood, they shall know true pain.
It is. I should. Goodbye.
How can I?
Titans lived and died here. What fate wrought their demise? It appears they fought here, died here. The resting place. to have one of these under my thrall.
I gotta take a little break. I will be back.